I'm Denise Roberts, and I live in the beautiful mountains of West Virginia with my husband Rick on a 38-acre farm. I'm a full-time studio artist, working 7 days a week, rarely taking time off. In the summer months, I move to my wet studio, which is my backyard, where I line up my wringer washing machines and I hand dye all the fabrics that I use in my compositions. After years of creating complex work, I have a desire to explore spare composition. I approached my Finding Connections series with curvilinear figures in mind that would interact in a spare manner to create new figures. With that in mind, I wanted to not have the quilting interfere with the composition, so I machine quilt all of my work with the same color thread as the fabric. My primary focus is on beautiful spacing to create the tension of interplay between the figure-ground relationship. I was started as a traditional quilter. I've quilted now for almost 35 years. And in 2005, a friend asked me if I wanted to go to a retreat in the country. I had young children. I was very excited, thinking time to relax. This friend took me to my first Nancy Crow workshop. I was in way over my head and didn't know what I had gotten myself into. But I fell in love with her by the end of the week and decided that this was where I wanted to study because I was going back to school. So I found Nancy, and I have had numerous workshops with her twice a year. And now I'm teaching at the barn, and this past week was my first experience teaching a week-long workshop. In Japan, I was asked to teach a workshop, and the quilters over there are very well versed and very gifted, and they were wonderful students. When I left for lunch and I came back, they had all worked through lunch and were ready for the next step. In addition, I was asked to be a juror for their International Quilt Nihon exhibition, and we did the preliminary judging at home where we viewed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos, and we gave them a point. It was all on a point system. Those points were then tallied by the people at the Quilt Nihon company, and they have all the quilts that make it in shipped to them so that when I went to Japan, myself and 4 other judges awarded prizes by viewing the actual work. It was like our very own exhibition, and the experience there was priceless. And we worked all day from 10 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night and finished the evening in one of the high-rise buildings and had a traditional 7-course Japanese meal. Since my work is spare, it's important for me for it to be the most forefront thing when you're viewing it. So when I was thinking about what I would quilt this series with, I wanted to quilt whatever area I'm in with the same color thread. So the thread isn't competing or distracting. And I think that it helps draw a viewer in because you can sort of see the texture from away and you want to come in and see what's going on. And that is the one area where I am still complex, compulsive, obsessive, and all of them from Finding Connections #1 to my current piece, Finding Connections #24, are all quilted with consecutive circles. And I can tell you, I quilt on a long arm quilting machine, and after all day of quilting circles, I walk out of the room like this.